Utah County is launching a pilot program to increase voting opportunities for residents living overseas. Utah County Clerk Amelia Powers is here to explain how it works. Welcome to the show. Glad to have you with us this morning.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You bet. This is a very interesting and really could turn out to be a big deal option for helping increase opportunities. Is that what this is all about?
Yeah, this is about making voting more accessible and safer for those that are overseas during the elections.
Okay. Talk about how they vote now.
Before
the pilot program.
Before the pilot program. Before the pilot program, people overseas voted via fax, email, or snail mail ballot. So they were sending in their ballots from overseas. If they did snail mail, the timing is very hard to judge because we can't guarantee mail overseas.
Sure.
Otherwise, they're using...
I mean, you just look back to last election to see how that could have impacted that with such a tight race in the 4th Congressional District.
Exactly. Also, a lot of these voters happen to be military voters, and sometimes those overseas ballots don't even get counted unless they're statistically valid. And so we have these people that are overseas fighting to defend our freedoms, and they don't even get to vote in our elections and have their vote count unless it's a close race. This gives them the option to have their vote counted with everyone else's.
Okay, let's dig into how it works. This is actually using mobile technology.
Yes.
Tell us about it.
So it's mobile technology, but they're not actually casting their vote with their phone. It's a remote ballot marking device. So they use an app on their phone to mark a ballot, and it goes into a virtual lockbox until it's time for us to count ballots. Then that virtual lockbox is opened, and their ballot is printed off and counted as a paper ballot with everyone else's in the county.
You are a new county clerk down in Utah County. You're the only county trying this.
Yes.
What was it that made you look at this and say, you know what, we really need to give this a try?
Coming into office, I wanted to make sure that we did two things. Number one, that we upgraded the technology and the efficiency in the office, and number two, that we had secure elections. This process will make counting those ballots a lot more efficient, manpower-wise, and for the voters overseas, but it also gives them a more secure option than email or snail mail or fax to cast their vote.
Let's dig in a little more into who's eligible. You mentioned military members, but
Yes.
who else could possibly benefit from this and participate?
Anyone who's a registered voter that's currently living overseas. So someone serving a mission in another country. I myself was a UCAVA voter when I lived in Canada working for Caterpillar. My chief deputy when he was serving in the Marines was an overseas voter. So military, missionaries, and people living overseas.
And this is immediate. We're talking like next week's municipal primary election.
Yes, in fact, we've already had some ballots cast using this method since voting is open and ballots have been sent out.
Okay, and so you'll do it for the primary, you'll do it for the general.
Yes.
What about beyond that? What's the goal?
If this looks good, coming back, we're also working with the National Cybersecurity Center, and they will be doing a full audit of this for us. If we find that this is secure and that it works like it was designed to, we will absolutely use this in the 2020 election when voting is going to go up significantly in the presidential year. We'll use it for overseas voters and also disabled voters.
Would you like to see other counties, and maybe even make this a statewide thing, take a look at what you're doing and possibly have that as an option across the state?
Absolutely. We've been in contact with the Major General for the Utah National Guard, and he would love to see this as an option for all of their military serving overseas. It's much more convenient for them, and if they don't feel comfortable with it, they can still cast their ballot the old way, but for those that feel comfortable, this is a much more convenient option.
All right. Where can people learn more information on that if this sounds like it's something they'd like to take advantage of?
If they're eligible, they've already gotten an email, but for people that just want to know more, they can check our website, utahcounty.gov.
Okay, and as I mentioned, a new county clerk in this role. Tell us about the transition. How are things going?
Things are going much better than I thought they would. Been in office 6 months now, going on 7 months. And in that time, we've been able to upgrade technology and really look at our election system, expect results much quicker from Utah County than they have been in the past, and expect a process that's much more efficient and organized.
All right, Amelia Powers, Utah County Clerk, thanks so much for being with us this morning. We'll watch closely to see how this pans out.
Thank you.
You bet.